Alright, hi everybody, how's it going? I'm back here today with another video. Now I want to talk about a major news story that's occurred within the past week or so, and that of course would be Bill O'Reilly's getting fired from Fox News. Now Bill O'Reilly's been with Fox News for over 20 years now, and it's kind of a major story, so I just thought I'd kind of give my 2 cents on the whole thing, just sort of weigh in on all that. So I just want to start out talking a little bit about Bill O'Reilly's background. Bill O'Reilly is from Long Island, New York, born in 1949, attended Catholic schools, and then in 1971 he had received a degree in history. He then went down to Miami, where he was a history and English teacher at a private school. Didn't last too long at the school, maybe about a year or two. And then he got a master's degree in broadcast journalism. He didn't last too long in teaching. Probably, if you watch some of his videos, you could probably see why. Just seemed like he didn't have the patience for teaching. But then, like I said, he got a master's degree in broadcast journalism, where he then worked at a number of major news organizations throughout the country. In the late 70s, around 79, he started doing news broadcasts about Kennedy, where he was talking about the Kennedy assassination and talking about new information that was coming out on the Kennedy assassination, such as info on the Umbrella Man. And in a way, you could kind of say that at this time he was kind of becoming like an early version of like an Alex Jones in a lot of ways. It kind of was like him a bit. But he didn't stay there. Bill O'Reilly eventually would become an anchor person on the show Inside Edition. Now, Inside Edition, it was one of those news shows. Current Affair was another one. You had these shows on in the early 90s, and it was here where Bill O'Reilly had his infamous meltdown. Apparently the teleprompter wasn't working, and he's looking at the teleprompter, and he's like, "But there's no words on it." And then he started swearing and just had this whole temper tantrum. It really came off kind of like a Will Ferrell sketch, or like something from Anchorman. It was very Ron Burgundy-like. But after this whole thing, he ultimately ended up getting a position on the Fox News network when it began, the Fox News channel, and it began in October of 1996, and he became the host of the O'Reilly Factor. Now, the O'Reilly Factor is like opinion news, where he'd voice his opinion on stuff. He would have different guests on. He had a segment called Patriots and Pinheads, and he would just interview people. And the show did become very popular, and the ratings were quite high. Now, eventually, what did happen was there was a sexual harassment scandal involving Bill O'Reilly, and when this happened, and then there were several more, I believe 7 in total, and Fox News and Bill O'Reilly ended up paying, I believe it was 5 women, around $13 million. So eventually Fox News decided, okay, we've had enough of this, and they got rid of Bill O'Reilly. Now, there have been other speculations as to why Bill O'Reilly was fired. One of it has to do with the fact that Fox News, which is owned by Rupert Murdoch, and apparently Rupert Murdoch's sons, or one of his sons, convinced Rupert Murdoch to fire Bill O'Reilly. And that was because one of Rupert Murdoch's son's wife was upset on the whole sexual harassment scandal. So she told her husband about it. Her husband told his dad, and Rupert Murdoch fired Bill O'Reilly. Now, that's been one speculation. There have been others. Another one was a few years back, there was the whole London phone hacking scandal. And for those of you who don't remember, the London phone hacking scandal it involved journalists who worked for Rupert-owned newspapers. Apparently, they had paid police officers to hack the phones of celebrities and other people that were in the news. And it was a huge scandal at the time. It was a huge scandal when it broke. And apparently, Rupert Murdoch at that time was trying to purchase a major European cable network called Sky. But that whole deal fell apart because of the London phone hacking scandal. It all fell apart. Now, Rupert Murdoch has been able to kind of regroup, and he was supposedly getting close to purchasing Sky. But then the whole Bill O'Reilly thing happened, so it's believed that Rupert Murdoch just said, okay, enough of this, I don't need any more scandal, and he fired Bill O'Reilly. Now, Bill O'Reilly, when he was fired, supposedly he'll receive his $25 million. That's what he was being paid each year, and that's a lot of money. That's more money than most people would make in an entire lifetime. That's really a lot. And, just, in a way, you can almost say it's reminiscent of the challenger who's going up against someone, say, like Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, and the challenger ends up losing, but he still gets a massive payday, right? So in a way, he's failing, but not really failing. It's kind of like failing up in a way, because the guy still gets a lot of money, just a massive payday. And that's what happened with Bill O'Reilly. Just ended up getting this massive payday of $25 million. So, yeah, even though he failed, it's almost like he kind of did fail up in a way. But, yeah, now, I was not a fan of Bill O'Reilly. I did not like Bill O'Reilly. I thought he was very smarmy. I thought he was very arrogant. I thought he had bully tendencies. That he could definitely be a bully at times. And I didn't like him, for that. And also, there was this whole thing he had with Jon Stewart where they had kind of this, like, back and forth feud that I thought was kind of phony. I really did. I thought behind closed doors, those guys are both probably really good friends, and were only trying to convince people that they somehow didn't like each other. I remember there was a debate between Jon Stewart and Bill O'Reilly where Jon Stewart goes, yeah, Bill, my audience right now is probably showing your audience how to download this debate. So I didn't like Jon Stewart either, but like I said, I was no fan of Bill O'Reilly. But Bill O'Reilly did make a big impact because, opinion news had become kind of popular. I know Bill O'Reilly would have people on his show, and they would talk about, Bill O'Reilly would have, like, news people on his show, for example, and Bill O'Reilly would be like, I could never do what you do anymore. I have to have an opinion. I have to do this opinion news stuff. So, yeah, it was, kind of a major thing, this opinion news format. And I do think, he did have kind of a big impact on other people. Stephen Colbert, for example, pretty much built his whole career around Bill O'Reilly. His whole shtick was basically a character that was influenced by Bill O'Reilly. Everything that, he would say and all that was a mockery of Bill O'Reilly. And I know Stephen Colbert did talk about Bill O'Reilly getting fired. It was hard to tell if he was sincere or not, if there was any sincerity in that. Because, Stephen Colbert could be very falsely serious. So it was really hard to tell if it was authentic or not. You just couldn't tell. But, yeah, Bill O'Reilly, he also has a successful writing career. He's put out a series of books that could probably be called the Killing series, I would think. Killing Lincoln, Killing Kennedy, Killing Patton, Killing Reagan. I guess these books have been really popular, and I'm told they're pretty good, although I have not read any of them. I know he also put out a children's book, and he put out a children's book around the time that the whole sexual harassment scandal was happening. And I remember people were just like, Bill O'Reilly's just terrible. Just the fact that he would put out a children's book when this whole scandal is going on is just terrible. And if you think about it, you just can't make that sort of thing up. You know, you just can't. Not even a skilled writer could come up with that kind of a thing. I mean, it's really just something you couldn't come up with. But now that Bill O'Reilly's out, I guess Tucker Carlson is going to be replacing him. I don't know too much about Tucker Carlson, but I know that a lot of people do like him. He's been on a lot of Fox News shows before. I think he had a show, I want to say it was called The Situation, Tucker Carlson. But now he's going to be filling Bill O'Reilly's slot. So, yeah, you know. Well, you know, I mean, that's pretty much what I wanted to say about that. You know, just kind of give my 2 cents on the whole Bill O'Reilly thing, because he was on for a while, like I said, #1 guy in cable news. But that's all I have. You know, if you did watch this video, I thank you for watching. Hope you got something out of it. I do think that probably there will be a future with opinion news, but I think ultimately it will be with the individual. You know, it will be people coming up with their own content, creating their own content through the internet. And, you know, that's all you have to do now is just research a topic and do a video on it. And then you could be the opinion news person, you know. So that's all I got. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great night.